Welcome to Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings, with me, Gretta Chamberlain, and the Realm of Beings. Shifting Impressions, which is one of the vehicles that supports the transmission of the Realm of Beings, is here to assist you in delving into your being by providing numerous topics and discussions for you to intake as you deepen your connection with your inner world. Shifting Impressions is here to assist you in strengthening yourself as you excavate to understand your true nature. Join us today and learn to shift your mindset, shift your thoughts, and shift your focus to recreate your life and produce a new you. Shifting Impressions starts now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings. I'm Carol, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Greta, Kathleen, and of course, the Realm of Beings. Don't forget to experience Shifting Impressions and the latest programs, or rewatch any of our podcasts again by tuning into our website, www.therealmofbeings.com, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Transformation Network, and any other of your favorite streaming platforms. Please follow and like us on Instagram, where you can find us listed as Shifting Impressions. We at Shifting Impressions are very happy to be here on Transformation Network every Friday at 11 a.m., and that's Eastern Time, and 8 a.m. Pacific. Listeners and viewers, if you're new to this podcast, thank you for joining us and being part of this experience. These conversations will help you to look at your life and your creation of reality, to see what you're creating, how it shows up, and how to help you gain perspective so you can learn how to shift what you're creating to create what you want. So welcome, everyone. To new listeners and viewers to the podcast, each week Greta shares with us a quote given to her from the Realm of Beings, which first we will discuss, and then we will have the realm come in and discuss it further. So welcome to all. This week the quote is, "Bad nor good exists. It is only your perception that makes a judgment to determine whether the choices that you have made in your life are good for you or not. The important thing to remember is that all your experiences work for your good, because each assists you in learning a lesson that you are committed to learn." So I myself have tried to stop using the words good and bad, and I try to refer to low vibrational energy and high vibrational energy, but sometimes I forget. So again, a reminder here, I think, is to remember that everything you're doing is assisting you in learning a lesson you committed to learn. And if it didn't turn out the way you consciously wanted it to, or you might have looked at it as maybe more challenging than you wanted it to be, don't beat yourself up about it. And I'm really saying that to myself because I'm very bad. Can't say bad. I'm very I very frequently tend to do that. And fortunately, Greta constantly reminds me to not do that. So I'm very lucky that I have firsthand communication with her to remind me, because I do forget sometimes. So ladies, is there such a thing as a bad or good choice?
What struck me is that maybe we can energetically create a shocking device, and every time somebody says it, it just zaps you back, because we're so used to looking at the world through those glasses and our own experiences, through things judging it being bad or good, that we really miss the big picture a lot of times. And for me, it's funny. I was just talking to a person today who was talking about regretting decisions that they made, the choices that they made. And I said, you have to stop that. No, if you really wanted to be that, to have that kind of a job, you would have created it. And I said, I wanted to be a lawyer, and then I created to be too afraid to take the LSATs to do it. So evidently I didn't really want to be a lawyer. And I found a rewarding career as an educator, as a teacher. And I enjoyed every moment of it. I played every day. So it's just hard sometimes, I think, for us as humans, having a human experience on this planet, to look inside of ourselves and to not see ourselves as failures or losers, winners and losers, because even in a, everything is either a loser or a winner. It just seems like we're just socialized to think that way. That's my opening salvo.
It's almost like we've been programmed to be human. It's almost like it's innately programmed into us to have judgment, and it's taught to us usually at a very young age. And that's why this is so good. The more people that can understand that there really is nothing that you could steadfastly say is all good or all bad, and just realize that everything just is. Right, Greta? Oh, I'm sorry, Kathy. Go ahead.
No, because what hit me in the head just then, was that we start off even as children, as a teacher, when you walk into a kindergarten class. I mean, Greta's talked about, is this alive? No, this is not alive. But I mean, I got a star today. We're already conditioning the kids to, I did this, I showed this, I got a star, and you give them a grade, and whether they learned it or not. I mean, but if this one got an A and you got a D, then automatically you're judging yourself, and they're judging you. And it gets very convoluted sometimes, because there are people that really believe that, well, everybody can't be a winner. But what we're saying is everyone is a winner, because you created what you successfully created to get that D, and the other person successfully created to get the A. But there are people out there in the audience going, which way do we go, George? It's like, I can feel their little cogs turning, going, well, what's wrong with that?
That's interesting that you brought up. I think we talked about what you just said. I think, didn't we do that on the podcast last week?
Yeah,
No.
winners and losers.
Winners and
Yeah.
losers. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did that. But I think that's a good reminder for people. And if people are not looking at this in chronological order, I think it's good that you brought it up again, Kathy, and I like what you brought up too, Carol. That we do fall into these things. Even myself, sometimes I'll do that. We even rate food. This food is not good, or this food is bad. You know, sicknesses is one thing that we definitely look at as being challenging to us. Some of us will think that's a bad experience for me. And what we talked about last week, I think, is tying in with what we're talking about this week. And that is that it's all about perception.
Mm.
And I think what you ladies brought up is that the perception is built on sometimes while we're in the womb itself. I'm
Very
getting,
true.
yeah, because you pick up the feelings of the mother, when you're in the womb, 6th, 7th, and 8th and 9th month, you can hear and see. So if there's a challenging time, then you're going to pick that up. And a lot of times we take it and we incorporate it in our own lives and we build on it. It's
Absolutely.
building. So it's when we determine something that's bad or good, according to this quote, and I'm in absolute agreement with it. It's we're trying to think that, okay, this is not good for me because it hurt me, or you're not good for me because you hurt me. I'm looking at that. You hurt me. So now you're a bad person. I'm blaming you because I feel that you hurt me. When in actuality, I tell people, I said, you don't need to blame anybody because you created that reality for yourself.
Not even yourself either.
Go ahead and expound on that one, Kat.
Well, because if you can't make any mistakes, and you're not a failure, and if you successfully created what you experienced, whether you really wanted to or not, evidently to me you kind of did, then, you know, don't hold on to it. We've talked about that too. Okay, so you did that, you didn't like it, change your thoughts, change your reality. And you know, it's like, but you don't know that you can do that if you're not listening to shifting impressions. And you just don't know that it's even possible. And I think that's part of the challenge with a lot of people. They don't know what they see themselves as being limited and not limitless. And it's in various different degrees that they see that, you know. And like some of the people, Greta and Carol, that we've met at these expos, you know, some of them think they know so much, and then you talk to them and you go, oh, that's a very limiting view they have of themselves and of everyone else. And it's like, okay, but that's their reality and they're creating that. And I'm not going to judge them. But getting back to this topic here, because to me it's all the same thing, the way I see it. We hold on to a lot of garbage, and we bring garbage in, garbage out. If you judge it as being garbage, then already you've dropped the ball. So we need to see it as being a rewarding experience. And if we like the experience, we'll continue it. If we don't, we won't. But if we walk around with regrets and anger and frustration and look outside of ourselves and blame everyone else for it and not ourselves, and even why blame yourself? All right, so you created it. Learn to laugh at what you do. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm laughing more and more at myself. I said, okay, well, you created for that person to call you. Okay, enjoy it and move on. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think too, if we look at ourselves, we are here telling other people about creation of reality. Yet, how many times do we ourselves forget that? And we do judge something bad, or we do judge ourselves or blame ourselves. So if we're slipping up every now and then, what about the people that don't know about creation of reality?
Exactly.
You know, how can you judge them? They don't even know. So I don't know. I think you have to sometimes put on rose-tinted glasses and just again remember that it's all perception and you can perceive however you want. But I think conflict comes in when we can't separate what is happening because of our unconscious versus our conscious. Because consciously, we know we want our reality to be like this. And yet, many times, the exact opposite is what occurs because that's what's in the unconscious. And that's why it's so important to examine. And I know Greta uses a lot of psychology, especially with me.
I don't mean to laugh,
Recently
Carol.
we talked about we talked about being in the womb. She just had me do like an exercise that dug so deep into my unconscious that I was expecting to find like a vein of gold that I could pull from.
But you're
It
gonna
was
say
that revealing.
a baby bottle. I thought you were gonna say a baby bottle.
You know, I mean, although I don't follow the Eastern philosophies that I used to follow, I have to remind people about, because we're saying, is there such a thing as bad or good? And if you remember the yin yang symbol, the black with the little hole of white, with the white with the little hole of black, and the symbolism of it is that nothing is 100% good or bad. Within everything is a little bit of the opposite. And I think that still holds true. And again, it's the perception of it. I mean, some people can look at that symbol and they don't even see the colors. You know, it's two people could stand next to each other looking at the same rainbow and perceive the colors differently. So just, I'm trying to remind people and remind myself, just kind of like mind your own business, like take care of yourself. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Worry about what you're doing and how you're creating your reality and what you're perceiving, if you're perceiving it as good or bad. And, you know, correct your own behavior before judging others.
But you know to do that. But you have been
exactly.
and you know to do that. So when you do something that you don't like, you know, well, I don't have to keep it. And
Exactly.
the more people tune into what the realm is teaching and what we are discussing, even through our own experiences, you know, is to move them in that direction where, okay, so you experience this. You don't have to judge whether or not you liked it. That's the part. That's the other crux, though. We keep saying if you don't like it, change it. But isn't that a form of judgment too? When do we reach the point where we just experience things and just not? Because to me, it's still a judgment. Because if you don't like it, change it is what they're saying. But that's judging that you didn't like it. So what's another word that we can substitute for that experience? You know what I mean?
You know, the word that the realm has taught me, and they'll probably bring it up later on in the show, but they taught me the word isness. It just is. When you just see it, it just is. Then you're not placing any connotations to it. It just is. Now, but then, Kathy, it's our choice. It's even to say it just is. I can say, okay, it just is. Well, do I want that isness? No, I don't. Do I want this isness? Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
You see, so that kind of takes you out of saying it's bad or it's good or vice versa. You know, it just is. Like the force, which is that which created all and that is continuously creating existence, does not judge. That's a humanoid construct that we use. I'm going to judge this to be good or bad, you know. And there's a phrase that somebody else created. I can't remember it. Maybe you ladies can help me. It's that, you know, see the good in everything. See good in everything. That's what we're really talking about here. See everything as good, regardless of how it appears to you. But when you look at it in terms of how does it fit? How does it serve you? How is it serving you? You know, what is this about? I created this because you have a personal reality. Everybody has a personal reality. Everybody creates their own personal reality. So looking at the isness of it, see good in everything. I don't care what it looks like. If you were involved in an automobile accident, see the good of that. What did it teach you? You see, that's another question that can go along with that. That was not included in the quote. What is this teaching you? You know, we've talked about QDRs here, quick displace replace, and we've even talked to people about how to do that. We might review that later on in another podcast. But one of the things is that we have another QDR that the realm has given us, but it deals with lessons. What lesson have you learned? See, as you move into your creation of reality, and you're beginning to understand that this is my creation of reality, this is what I am bringing forth and experiencing in my life. And you look at it as an isness, which means you're moving out of condemnation or happiness, really, either one. You're just not, it just is. It's an experience. That's all it is. But then we want to look at, we take it deeper. And that is, what is the lesson?
But what's the point of even being human then?
What's the point of being anything?
Oh, okay. Well, I can only ask about
but that's a good question.
It's the how, right? It's the how you chose to learn your lesson.
But Kathy's asking, why did we come here in the first place?
To learn lessons.
If this is how, if we are as a species judgmental, all of these things that we do, we don't know we create our own reality, all of these different things. And if we remove all that, what's the point of being human?
We're not, because you're dealing with creation of reality. You're dealing with your personal creation of reality. You're dealing with what are you creating? Because let's go back to the beginning of this. When the incarnate, which is the force, decided that it wanted to experience learning a certain type of lesson, then it's going to look for what species inside of existence has the characteristics to be able to deal with that lesson. Now you're taking me deeper now, y'all. Okay?
Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. What species is going to fit with the lesson that I want to experience? Okay, so we're coming into now a deeper understanding of the force itself. Because I tell people, okay, you've got a headache. You think you've got the headache by yourself, when in actuality, every individual in existence is experiencing that same headache with you, be it consciously or unconsciously, because we are all one. There's no separation between us whatsoever. So with that in mind, that means every lesson that you have is also my lesson. I may not consciously be dealing with what is now your lesson, but it's also mine. Why? Because we're all one. Now, let's get into the point of what else are we? We are the force itself. And the force experiences, we are experiencing the force. We are in a human experience as the force. We are the force. People think that that is poppycock, that that is ridiculous, that is, what other things do they say?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I was going to use the word sacrificial, but that's not the word that people use.
Sacrilegious?
Sacrilegious, yes, that's right. It's sacrilegious. They think it's sacrilegious to even think that they are the force. But if you want to support oneness, if you are somebody out there in this audience that's supporting oneness, then expand your conceptualization of oneness, because that conceptualization means that you are the force itself, because that is all that exists. So therefore, there is no bad or good, because the force is not going to judge this. It's not going to judge. It doesn't judge. It's not necessary. Judgment is low vibrational in the first place. So all it's going to do is say, oh, we broke our finger. Notice I said we broke our finger, because it is experiencing everything, all experiences that within everything it has created. That is our purpose, really. We're assisting the force in experiencing itself. So we are humans. We are the force incarnated as human beings on this earth.
Why would we even do that? Why would the force even want to? I know it wants to experience itself, but why?
That's the idea. It's creation.
But why would it want to experience feeling low vibrational thoughts and
It
emotions?
doesn't think like that. You think like that. You said it's low vibrational. The force does not see that. It doesn't see it low vibrational, nor does it see it high vibrational. It just knows that in our characteristics as humans, one of the things that goes with us, that we choose the realities we want to experience. But it's really the realities that the force is experiencing as well. See, some people believe, okay, I'm by myself. No, you're not. You're never by yourself. See, that's part of being human. That's characteristics. Because when you leave this earth and you go to another planet where there are other individuals, cognizant individuals, or just other individuals, period, there's a whole new ball game. It's a whole new way of processing. It's a whole new way of creating. And why you're creating. And what are you doing? Lessons? Do you have lessons? You see? That's what it's really all about. It's about the force wanting to experience itself in all of these forms. You got Pleiadians, you got Arcturians, you got reptilians, you got Anunnakians, and you got. I tell people, maybe this universe is universe number 375. But there's a universe out there that's number 1. There's another universe out there that's number 9,762. Because the building of the universes, it goes into infinity, of which the force is that. It's an infinite energy.
It's a lot to get one's brain wrapped around, that's for sure.
Right. So, Kathy,
even when I think I understand it, I still can't express the way I understand it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's just like, it's like my brain just exploded.
Right. So what
but
are you
I
thinking?
do understand
Uh-huh.
while still questioning. Does that make it's like it's right there, but I don't have it completely. I'm close, but it's not. I think, Greta, I told you when I first met you that before I met you, I used to look at life like looking through a window that had like a sheer curtain on it. And you could see what was in that other room. There would be like a chair, a table, a lamp. And after discovering creation of reality, it was like someone pulled the curtain aside, and all of a sudden I could see what color the chair was, what color the table, like it became clearer. And every now and then I think that curtain maybe slides back in front of me and I'm still struggling to push it aside sometimes.
Kathy was thinking of something. Kathy, what are you thinking?
I don't know. It may have to wait till you come back after the break, but now what Carol said jolted something in me. I wanted to know what aliens look like and ghosts look like, and I removed that veil off my face. So now I know.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm just thinking that when we come back, I'm just processing what you said.
Okay. All right, audience, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have the realm speaking to us directly about this quote. We ask you to please just stay with us and give us a few moments. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again. This is Shifting Impressions on Transformation Network. We are at the point in the program where the realm will be channeled by Greta to expound on the quote that they've given us. Realm, we welcome you and enjoy your presence.
Thank you. We are always very glad to be here with the two of you and also with the audience.
Wonderful. Well, the quote you gave, Greta, this week is, "Bad nor good exists. It is only your perception that makes a judgment to determine whether the choices that you have made in your life are good for you or not. The important idea is to remember the important idea to remember is that all experiences work for your good because each assists you in learning a lesson that you are committed to learn." So take it away, Realm.
We would like to start with where you ladies left off at. And you left off at the discussion about the force. The force is that which has created you and everything around you. It has created even those things that can see you, but you can't see them. It has also created everything. So within its high vibration, it is not going to relate to you as being a bad person or a good person. It's not because you are it. Why would it sit around and call itself bad? It would not. And it does not. It only sees the isness of something. When you have wars here on this planet, you say, oh, this is a horrible thing. This is a terrible thing. It's awful that there's war. How does the force see it? It only sees it as an isness. Because it does not judge. Its nature is not to judge. However, in creating different species to allow itself to experience different things, there are characteristics that are given. One of them for humanoids is that a lot of you call it free will, because you are free to make the choices that you want. And everything of your existence of reality is nothing but choice. But because you are in a human experience, one of the things that comes with being humanoid is judgment. That is something for you to overcome. You have heard us say, these lessons are not for you to succumb to them, but to overcome them. So one of these lessons is judgment. And that is the basis of determining if something is good or if something is bad. You judge it. In that judgment, then, good or bad, as you make a choice, then you are also judging yourself. If you judge I will say this in a different way. If you judge a situation that you have created as good or bad, then you must be judging yourself simultaneously because you are the one that created it. The only way that you could get around that is if you believe in the illusion of blame. You're going to blame somebody else for your experience. Or you're going to get angry at somebody else for your experience. You see, then you're determining, you're going into that realm of illusions that have a basis in judgment and therefore have a basis in good or bad. You see. So it's all about you understanding you. It's all about stop unloving yourself. When you judge yourself, when you pity yourself, you are in the process of unloving yourself conditionally. So you're going in what we could term, to make it simple, in the opposite direction of going into an experience of it's okay. You don't have to, that's a judgment unto itself to say it's okay. Soon as you tag something that you have created, you have automatically judged it. That's a characteristic of being human, judging. You're either judging it to be good, you're judging it to be great, or you're judging it to be, yeah, you know.
Is all
Who knows
judgment
what-
bad though, Realm? Because if I see a snake, okay, putting aside that I created to see the snake, or I'm supporting the snake and seeing the snake, I'm going to judge whether or not I want to be involved with that snake and move away and walk in wisdom. So is that part, is all judgment bad?
There
I'm using the word bad.
is no bad, there is no good when we're talking about the creation of reality, and we're talking about energy. There is no good or bad. Your snake scenario is an interesting one because you have probable realities in that as well. See, your your choices sit in another set of realities.
Okay.
Those are probable realities. So you reach out based on your epigenetics, your family background, your culture, all of that. You reach out into the realm of probabilities and determine which probability you want to pull in. It's like if you have, those of you who have a sock drawer, you have all these socks in there. You know, they're different shapes, different drawings. Like right now, we watched Greta put on her socks and they're ice cream cones. You see?
Oh.
So, but that was her choice to do that. But the probability was existing in the drawer. Here are all these socks that she could have chosen, and she chose ice cream cones. Why? We have not the foggiest idea, but she chose ice cream cones. It's neither good, it's neither bad. It just is. This is what she wanted to experience on her feet during this podcast, were socks with ice cream cones on them. This is her choice.
Question: are we the only species that deals in judgment, or are there others?
There are other species that will have the same thing involved, that they have judgment or of things as well. It's not just going to be, I'm not going to say it's all. Do you realize how many species we're talking about now, Kathleen?
I would say trillions.
I would say past that.
I don't know what number.
Infinity. Infinity.
Absolutely. There are so many species. I'm sure that there is carryover. Look at it. Look at us. When we look at Greta or we look at you all, we just say, oh, look at that. That's all we can say.
I want to know what that looks like to you. What do we look like to you, Realm? Don't laugh.
I bet we look like the Force because there's no judgment. They're not judging us.
No.
Is that close?
Carol, don't save. That's saviorhood.
I don't think so. I really believe that's how they perceive us.
We perceive you as the Force experiencing a humanoid experience.
It was very diplomatically said.
Yes, I agree.
That's how we see you. We know that we know what our purpose is here. We are experiencing your humanness as well, because there is no separation between us or any human, wherever humans are. Because what you're focusing on right here in this podcast is this reality inside this laterality. Remember now, there are other realities inside of other lateralities. You see. And even if you want to think of the two of you, you are creating your reality simultaneously while Carol is creating hers. And we are creating ours. One of the realities that we are creating at this point is to be part of this podcast. This is our reality here. There are so many different types of realities. You would find it challenging to go into probable realities and then try to look at them and define them as bad or good. You would really be trying to do something.
Woo, and I don't think I'm going to do that, bro.
Then, if you're going to do that, then are we saying that the Force is either bad or good? Because you see, when when you judge something being bad or good, you're not just judging it. You are technically, because the it that you are judging is part of everything in existence. So when you judge it, you're judging existence and you're also judging the Force. Because everything is one. So that's why we wanted to discuss with the audience and with you to let go of judgment. Let go of judgment. There's no need for it. Because as you judge someone or something, you judge yourself the same way. Because we are all one.
Is there a QDR for that, Realm?
Create one. You know how to create QDRs.
Releasing all emotions and thoughts that support me in creating and maintaining, judging myself and others. I love myself unconditionally.
There you go. There you go.
And how do we survive as humans without that?
You know, yes, you can survive without judging. Once you step into what you ladies were talking about before we came on, you were talking about isness. I think Greta brought that up. So isness, you stay in a state of isness, and then you can look at something and say, oh, well, look at that. It's like there was something happening to the trees in your state of New Jersey. The trees were burning, and they found, well, they're holding a person for burning down the trees. So we could look at him and say, he's a horrible person, or he's insane. Regardless of whichever word we want to use, is still judgment. It's judgment of that person who supposedly, I'm saying supposedly, set the fire. They said there were others there as well doing a campfire or something. Okay, decided to do that. That was choice. Some of us will say that that was a bad choice because look at all the trees that it burned down.
Well, the trees couldn't burn if they didn't want to go.
Absolutely.
We're very close to where I live.
Well, look where you put yourself.
I know.
That's your creation of reality.
That was my creation, yeah.
You put yourself near the trees. So the thing is that in California, when everything burnt down, you know, the emotion that was rampant through that was fear. Fear. Fear of, is it going to burn my house? Is it not? You know, it was just the energy of fear. And when you fear something, you know you get what you fear. That's why you don't want to fear anything. It's our suggestion. Let it go. But see, we're not going to judge it to say that fear is bad or fear is good. You did a podcast sometime last month, if I'm not mistaken, that dealt with, let's look at fear and let's see the positive, quote unquote, positive things about fear, you see. So within that discussion, you truly neutralized it. When you don't see it as good or bad, and you only see it in a state of isness, then you have neutralized it.
And that could even apply to what I've been practicing with what's going on in politically, socially, and environmentally on this planet.
Absolutely. There's no need to, you don't have to embrace it.
Not always successful. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm working on it.
Well, see, you're judging yourself.
I know. I just did. Darn, that's what we were talking about.
See how easy it is to do? It's so easy.
Man,
I will mention, since the realm brought up the fires in New Jersey, that I live fairly close to there. Again, my choice where I want to live. I could smell the burning to the point that I was walking around my house because I thought there was a fire in my house. And I made a conscious decision that I was not going to fear that it would come up as far as where I live, or that it would damage my house or put me in danger. Or the other thing, that I would not lose electricity, because they turned off power for like 25,000 people because of resources for, you know, the firefighters or whatever. They didn't want any electricity to interfere with you know, anything that could ignite. And I just decided that I did not fear that the fire would come to me or that I would lose electricity or power. And I didn't. I created to not experience that, and I did not experience it.
Well, look what you did.
For me. Yeah.
You neutralized it. You neutralized the experience, you see. So therefore, you didn't give any energy to it.
No, I did not.
When you don't give energy to something, that means you have neutralized it. And therefore, you don't have to experience it. When you give it life, judgment and blame gives the very thing that you're judging and blaming life.
Uh-oh. Well, that's okay.
Because that's what are you doing? It's everything is energy, folks. Everything is energy. So you're giving energy to blame. You're giving energy to the existence of the very thing that you are blaming.
And the very thing you are fearing too. And even I have to really work on consciously remaining emotionally neutral in reference to everything, even But sometimes if I see probabilities, and they're just probabilities realm, like there's just with some of the things happening, it's almost like I can see or feel what where it could possibly go. How do I not go there?
You not go there because you're going to choose not to go there.
Okay.
So how do you solidify your choice of not going there? One of the ways is to just totally neutralize the whole doggone thing. You can get involved in something. You can get involved in, there's so many things on this earth that you can get involved in. It's like Carol has cats, and she gets her cats. She doesn't go out and buy her cats. She gets them from shelters where there are cats that people don't necessarily want, or they had to turn them in because they were moving and they couldn't take the cats with them. But that reality is the cats.
Well, I tried to get a used cat, Realm. I really tried to get a used cat.
A used cat.
I tried to get a used dog too, but I wound
What
up.
a wonderful judgment call. A used cat.
Yeah, they wanted to come to my house and make me pay all of this money, and I'm going, it's a used cat. It's not a kitten, it's not a new cat. And I said, I filled out the 10 pages of information, and I'm waiting, and it's called Forgotten Cats, and I guess they forgot about me as a possible owner. So I said, well, how much?
No, they didn't forget about you.
I
created to forget about them.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well,
there you go.
Kathy, as all cat owners know, we don't own cats. They own us. They let us serve them. So you didn't miss out on anything.
You mean you're giving?
I don't believe in that.
You're giving up your own autonomy to another being?
In this case, I would have to say yes.
Oh.
Greta has asked me.
So what do the cats make you do, Miss Carol?
Well, sometimes they wake me up when I want to sleep.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold.
Oh.
If you are waken up by a cat, that means you want to be waken up by a cat.
True.
Otherwise, the cat can't wake you up because it's create, support, create.
Yeah, and I've created for them to be my alarm clock, so it works out.
Well,
really
there
in my
you
favor.
go. There you go. So that, would you characterize that as a good thing or a bad thing?
It just is.
Touche.
Oh, you know what, Carol? Oh.
But it's true. It really is.
I'm judging you in my head.
That's okay. I judge myself in my head all the time. So Greta has actually asked me, because I don't know if the listeners are aware that one of my cats is a troubled cat. And I knew he was when I adopted him as a kitten. And I guess I was playing savior. But she would say to me, who do you love more, you or the cat? And I would answer, the cat. It's just, I know I'm supposed to love myself unconditionally, but if I got low on funds, I buy cat food before I buy my food. So
so you're definitely different than me, Carol, because
yeah, no, I'm pretty
I would cry the whole time I opened the door and said, I know you want to be born free. Go ahead. No.
Oh,
not only that, Miss Carol, but you are stressing and showing us that you are definitely in savior mode.
I suppose so.
So then,
but he's just so cute. It's
Yes,
like,
but we
oh,
know what
he's so
has
cute.
happened when he's bitten you tremendously
Yeah, he doesn't anymore
and
though.
gouged out a part of your leg.
Oh my God.
Oh,
No,
the worst part. Oh, Kathy, the worst part was he bit me on a nerve and I had to go to the emergency room because my whole arm swelled up.
well, you know what? Like
So
I said,
I created it.
you're different than me.
Yeah, I know.
that's your
We're getting ready to.
saviorhood.
I
That is
know.
your saviorhood. And
But
when you
when I
say
see his
you
little
would,
face, I can't help
when,
it.
yes, you can. What
Okay,
has
let's
the
put it a
face got
different
to
way.
do with it?
Because
You,
it's so
we,
cute.
we highly suggest that you go to the mirror and look at yourself and say that you are cute. Spend the
I will try to
time,
do that.
spend the time with yourself
That's a good point. You're
because
absolutely
you've
right.
created through that experience based on what you have said to us today and what we've known. You've created to love a cat more than you love yourself.
And use it as a way to punish myself. I learned about
Absolutely.
that too. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it comes a time when you have to decide. Ha ha ha.
Make a choice.
Yes,
I know.
yes. But we
I
look at
understand.
your experience only as an isness. It's
And
only
I
an,
will say I've learned a lot because I've discovered lessons because of that. So it's not bad or good. It just is. And I'm learning, and that's what I think my purpose is. So on that note, we're going to have to say goodbye soon. And just Kathy, anything you want to wrap up with? Realm, anything before you bring Greta back?
Let the realm just say what the realm does. Go ahead, realm.
oh, thank you, Miss Kathy.
No problem.
Uh, what we'd like to say is for each person there, and we say it every week, and we're going to continue to say it, and that is to love yourselves unconditionally. That you will create realities, bringing probabilities out that, and focus on what you want. We highly suggest that you focus on what you want instead of focusing on what you don't want. But that will be
Wise words.
that will be another podcast. But
And
thank you
they are
for
very wise
inviting
words.
us. We wish to say goodbye to the audience and goodbye to you. We will personally meet you all next week.
Thank you, Realm, and thank you for joining us and for providing the quote. Thank you, Kathy, for your insights, which are always entertaining. Thank you, Transformation Network, for hosting us. And most importantly, thank you, viewers and listeners. Until we create each other again, everyone have a wonderful week.
Once again, thanks for joining us at Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings on TransformationTalkRadio.com. As you have explored today's creation of reality experience with the realm and me, Greta, each of you is being supported by us in further developing the understanding that you are not just an individual existing in linear time and space, but a multi-dimensional force of infinite possibilities who is connected to all. So begin to create the realities you want. Join us every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time and 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Shifting Impressions at TransformationTalkRadio.com. So long until we create each other again next Friday.